Hi everybody and welcome back to my backyard once again. Today we're gonna check out the Iscooter U1 electric mini bike. And I have just finished testing it to its limits by basically charging it 100%, going into town, which is like 4 kilometers away, testing it full speed on very high slopes and also on off-road terrain. And I just came back when the battery was completely empty. So I can give you a real-world scenario on how this bike behaves. Of course, I tested it outside on what this little bike is supposed to do, because look how tiny it is compared to myself. Probably I'm not the target of this bike. I am 1 meter 85 centimeters. This is mostly aimed at teenagers, at kids, maybe very light people, and it's really mostly for going around campuses and for short range trips. The bike comes in a very small box and it's also super easy to assemble. It just takes half an hour. All the tools are included. You just need to put the front wheel, the fenders, the handlebar and the seat. They call it a foldable bike, but really there is not much that folds, just the handle goes a little bit flush like this, and you can also fold the pedals. You can remove the seat as well, and really it becomes quite small. But if you have to load it in a car, maybe it's better to have an SUV, it will fit there. Smaller cars, I have a coupe, and really it barely fits there. I have to remove everything because it's still quite long. Also, the center of gravity is right here, but as you can see, there is no easy way to take it with one hand. You really have to struggle. If you take it in the front, you see, it's gonna flip back and you're gonna have the handle on your chest. So it's not even a one-hand carry. You need two hands, and then, yes, with two hands it's quite lightweight. But I wish they designed a handle to just carry it one-handed, just like a small scooter. And in fact, this bike design looks very cool. It has this tubular frame in the middle, which houses a lot of things, but somehow it's kind of form over function sometimes. For example, this is the front light. It looks cool, it's also very bright, but it kind of sits low on the bike, and it's a very low bike, so it doesn't illuminate much. When you turn the handlebar, it doesn't rotate, so you cannot see really the pavement where you're going. The batteries are inside here and they are non-replaceable, and at the back you have the backlight as well as the charging pin. The wheels are 14 inches by 1.95, so 2 inches, and they have mechanic disc brakes that work kind of nice. At the back there is a 250 watt with 350 watt peak electric motor, and as you can see it doesn't have reduction, so you have only one speed. There are no suspensions in the front, but you have one under the back seat, which is gonna help absorb a little bit of asperities. The seat has some springs on the bottom of it, so it's quite comfy ride for how small the bike is. But this is the maximum height of the seat. It's adjustable, but really not much, so I can never extend fully my legs and it feels kind of cramped. I also tighten this as much as I can to the point of almost bending this clip, but it's very easy to make the seat go down and it always comes back down. Really, I don't know if maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I have to report it. This is your handlebar. You turn the bike on by long pressing the M button. There is no key, no card, no anything, no security, so always be careful and lock your bike when you go around. You have a little mechanical bell and a thumb throttle, which is super nice to see on such an affordable bike. Also because it's gonna help you modulate the power much better than using the cadence sensor into the pedals, which are not the most responsive I ever seen. You have 4 levels of pedal assist. 0, it doesn't help you at all. 1, 2 or 3. At the top you have the power applied, and I'm gonna try giving it throttle. This is the battery, kilometers per hour, and the odometer with the total mileage of the bike, trip mileage, voltage of the battery, instantaneous current amps, and current trip time. If you long press the minus button, it activates walking assist, so you can drag it up a hill. And if you long press the plus button, it activates the lights. If you long press plus and minus, you go into the special menu. Boom. Now I don't remember all the functions. You cycle through the modes with M. PO02 is cruise control. PO03, I don't remember this. PO04 is your wheel size, so don't touch it. P005 is max speed. You can change it between 25 kilometers per hour to 32. I suggest you keeping it at 32. And then this, I believe, is to reset the whole odometer. The total range of this bike in real-world scenario, using it at maximum speed, doing a little bit of inclines, a little bit of slight off-road, is gonna be around 15 kilometers round trip. So you can go 7 kilometers out and come back. If you are lighter and if you live in a very flat area, maybe you can get up to 20-25 kilometers at full speed. When you are on flat ground, it feels kind of enjoyable to ride because you just press the throttle, give it a little push with the pedals, and it starts going. And actually can climb quite fast, up to 25-30 kilometers per hour. And it's remarkable for how small the bike is. But having only one speed is kind of harder to start. You need a little bit of help from the electric motor, and the pedals will take you to around 20 kilometers per hour. After that, you are just spinning uncontrollably with your legs. If you are on a big stretch of road, you just keep the throttle pressed for a few seconds, it activates the cruise control, and you are just gliding at that point. And it feels very much like riding a scooter or a little motorbike. You don't have to do anything, and actually it's superior to a scooter because you have bigger wheels, you are sitting, and also you can go on a little bit of gravel, a little bit of grass, things that the scooters usually at this price cannot do. And it's also a much safer ride. Going uphill instead was not as breezy, at least for my weight. Even if I pedaled and I get the motor full power, I was going very slow, less than 10 kilometers per hour, and I was struggling a little bit. At the beginning, it really helps you, but at around 30-50 meters, you get a hot motor warning on the display and the power output is greatly reduced. Coming back home was much slower because all the full power testing had made the battery voltage drop a lot. So the maximum speed was around 15 kilometers per hour and dropping. At 15 kilometer mark, it was really not helping me at all. So I decided to end the test. The price of this bike is gonna be around 370 bucks. I have seen it discounted even more, but actually it's very competitively priced against entry-level scooters. And despite being not as light and portable, you gain bigger wheels, you can ride on multiple terrains, and also it's a safer ride because it stops earlier and you are much lower on the ground. And if the battery dies out, you always have the mechanical pedals. So if you are smaller and lighter than me, if you live somewhere with flat terrain, not many hills and urban area, and also if you don't have to commute more than 15 kilometers round trip, probably is a nice, inexpensive way to do that. And as always, that's all for today. Remember to like, subscribe and comment on this video. Let me know what you think about this mini bike. And also, if you want to buy something, check out the links in the description below because clicking on them, you help my channel a lot. Stay safe and happy cycling. Bye!